Hello everyone, my name is Notepad and I write games for fun. So what are we doing today? Today we're going to be working on Cruciform. Yes, we're going to be working on the funny obsession project because I can't escape these cycles of samsara. First things first, I would like to thank Pikmin100XX for following. Thank you very much, Kissu Kissu, you know the rest. Nothing too exciting in the land of milk and honey today. Been a pretty boring day, all things considering. Been seeing more and more things on DC20 though. Been following this. We've officially hit 1.4 million on it. And yeah, this one is gonna be a big one, I think. This one's gonna be a big old game. It was funded in 1 minute. It made $20,000 in 1 minute. But yeah, I don't know, Kings. I don't know. I've heard from some people that it's effectively 4E. Like it's a different version of 4E because the people crave 4E. Yeah, forged a new path with all the aspects of TRPGs. Cool, nat 20s. Okay. It's natty 20 hours. Yeah, no, as you would like that. TRPG craze. It's a lot of these people are really hyping it up. So I'm curious what the hype is going to be like when it comes out. Because it's going to come out and everyone's going to be excited for it, right? It's not going to be immediately forgotten. Though I can't really say anything because we also have a couple of those other projects that I guess you would call it part of the OGL fiasco, because we have the MCDM RPG. Everyone's like, oh boy, it's the MCDM RPG, which is also apparently 4E, but they keep changing things. So it's really difficult to get an idea of what this game actually is, because they sold it on here at 4.6 million United States dollars. Though apparently they've changed some things already about it from what they've said. They're like, oh well, we're gonna change this. We're gonna change this. They've changed some things, but they've already got the money for it. That's kind of weird. I don't know about you, but like, if you're doing something like a Kickstarter or anything like that, by the time you actually start asking for money for things, most of the actual game should be done. What do I know, right? I'm a silly Billy. There's this one, there's Tales of the Valiant, I believe that's what it's called, Tales of the Valiant. I believe this game's already out, and every single person was like, wow, it's 5e. That's... This was Project Black Flag. Demiplane is now part of DTRPG and in turn Roll20. You gotta remember that as well. So I don't think I don't even know if Alchemy's still around anymore. So like, it's close enough to 5e that it was easy to sell. Yeah, I like to like. Yeah, this is what I've been seeing a lot of. Like, it's effectively 5e. I remember when the playtest document came out for it, and we made a character before we could even make characters because all the math was the exact same for making a fighter. It was the exact same math, and we could just deduce what abilities you ended up with. It was actually really fascinating in a kind of sad way. Let's see. There's MCDM. There's Tales of the Valiant. What other OGL fiasco games? Because there's DC20 now. Tales of the Valiant. It's not, yeah, we were kind of talking about that a little bit. MCDM RPG. Guys at 1.4 million. The thing is, this one is weirdly, apparently it's more like 4E PF2E from what I've been hearing. Tales of the Valiant is a 5e fork. MCDM is like, I don't know what the fuck that game is going to be at the end of it. I have no idea what the fuck that game's going to be at the end of its development. Because it feels like every single time I hear about it, they've changed something else. No, yeah, MCDM changed its system, I think. They changed it again. I don't think it's 2D10 anymore. It's that really weird thing. Like, for a while, you had to roll on a chart for everything. Then you auto-hit, but then you didn't auto-hit anymore. It was a really... Yeah. Hey, man, there was a while there, like, anytime I heard about it, they changed the fucking math. I haven't been following it that close, just because I'm like, I don't know what the end product is going to be. Yeah, it's DC-20. Like, the thing with DC-20 I keep hearing about is that it is 4E mixed with Pathfinder 2nd. That is what it is. You know, Tales of the Valiant is legitimately just a 5E fork. That's something you guys gotta know. It's a fucking 5E fork. God, what is, like, what was another? There was another one. What was that? There was another one. That was coming out. That wasn't like post OGL crisis. Because there was a lot of games that got announced, and suddenly they simply. Oh yeah, I guess you could say like the Orc, like it's not the Offshore Racing Congress, it was the Orc license. I don't know if this even took off because nobody liked the Orc license because it was insane. That was like the one thing about the Orc I remember is that it was not a very good license and not many people actually used it. Because the idea was like everyone had to share shit with each other. Hello, the Hidden Scotty. Thank you. Hello, how are you doing? Like, Tales of the Valiant, which is Black Flag. Yeah, that was, there was another one. I guess if you want to be really specific, D&D 5.5 or like 1 D&D, whatever the fuck they're calling the September, the D&D new release. Like whatever this is going to be, I really don't know what it's going to be. The new player's handbook, I guess it'd be called 1 D&D. I guess that is the correct way of wording it, is 1 D&D. Yeah, no one knows anything about this one yet, really. What has been put out is that they're really nostalgia baiting, and apparently they are going really hard. They are apparently going really hard on not being Faerun, which is a little odd to me. Yeah. Still doing some stuff. That's September. Pikmin, let's see. I'm not doing bad. How y'all going? We're doing fun part of it. You need to try to make good original hit. Other money from OGL mad normies. Literally no one will play these games in 6 months. I heard playing Tales of the Valiant after buying it. It's just 5e, but we changed the feel things. DC-20 from what I've seen is similar to 5e PF2 with less number crunching. Still have no real knowledge MCD outside being very weapon blasé. Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. I do not know if MCDM will change. I think how do I want to word this? I think people look at Matt Colville, and I think Matt Colville looks at Matt Colville thinking that he's this really important guy and people really like him. But I don't think he quite realizes he got very popular off 5e content. And if he just made... How do I want to word this? How do I best word this? If MCDM came out without any of Matt Colville's other things, would it have gotten $4.6 million? I do not think so. I don't think it would. I don't think it would grace 1 million. I don't think it would grace 500,000. But he did write a bunch of 5e stuff, and he's very active about things like that. That's what he's made a career on, arguably. So it's kind of one of those really weird situations. Like, if you take it in vacuum, I don't know if people are going to pick it up. I really don't. People seem to like this DC-20 thing. I can automatically see the problem. The thing that I'm seeing. This is the beautiful thing with the DC-20 thing that I'm seeing. This is Notepad after playing far too much Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I will need to see the rules exactly, but this is a fucking danger zone. Because you want to know what this is telling me? This is telling me that they just put a bunch of things and made it an action point rather than doing anything else. It's not a move action anymore. You have to spend an action point to move. It's not you're not spending a main action to use a spell. No. And I can almost guarantee you that there are going to be spells that are going to take up 2 actions or 3 actions points to use. An attack is going to take up 1, 2, or 3. Is there a multi-attack penalty? Because if there's not a multiple attack penalty, the fighter is going to run up there and roll 4 times. He will roll his attack 4 times in a row every single round because there's not going to be any reason for him to do anything else. Or it's like you're always going to save like 2 to dodge, which is telling me, see, there's the dodge action. That's telling me there's no passive defense. Or there's going to be really shitty passive defense. So you'll never want to actually spend all your action points. Because if you spend all your action points, you're just going to get hopped on by a dozen goblins and they're just going to kill you instantly. So never do that. So this is now 2 actions. A move is like, yeah, you're moving in, being like, is there a multi-attack penalty? Is there things like that? I would really need to look. I really don't know. Also, hey, here's mana points. Okay. Yeah, also roll a d20 to make a spell check for all spells you cast. You actually cast the spell by making a spell check. More damage your fireball deals. Oh, you mean every single spell is going to be a random chance of something happening, and my mana points, I'm going to probably make sure we don't get a lot. With spell enhancements, oh, that won't be broken in any way. Oh boy, here's stamina points. Like, oh, here's spend additional action points. You know, spend this, spend. I'm like, ooh, there's gonna be a lot of little currencies possibly going around. It's things like that I'm like, It's kind of like DC marketing. Literally, it is D&D 6e. It's so cringe. I'm like, oh, I'm on time. I watched a single video of this guy and I hated his ideas. It's, hey, he might be good. I don't watch D&D YouTubers. Yeah, that's the same shit. That's the same shit that they did in, technically what they somewhat do in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, but you get a reaction for free. So effectively, again, this is telling me is I would need to see it for attack roll. If there's a multi-attack penalty, you'll do 1 attack a round, and then every subsequent attack will be worse. That's kind of the... And my big thing as well is what happens to action points after. That's the big thing. What happens after your turn comes back up? Do you get bonus action points? Do you lose those action points? Oh man, doesn't it feel really good to waste actions? Oh boy. That's what I say, like, that's always the really fascinating and unique thing when it comes to action points and things like that. You're kind of sitting back a little bit. You're like, what's your plan here? What's your game plan? I don't know what you're planning on doing, but whatever it is, I'm worried. I'm hesitant. I don't hate action point systems, but if he's using D&D logic with the action point system, this is telling me a few different things. And, oh, well, veterans love it. Being less like, what is... Yeah, but don't look at veterans. That's always the big thing. Never look at veterans. Because veterans are going to know what to do, and they're going to automatically identify that a -4 fucking multiple attack penalty is crippling. And they are. Multiple attack penalties in like Pathfinder 2nd Edition really incentivize you to not do anything. You really shouldn't make more than one attack a turn because ACs are so fucking high. But yeah, it's a bunch of little things here that I'm like, are spells going to be 1 action? Is it going to be 2 actions? Are there going to be things worth 4 actions? Like, oh, well, it's like, oh, well, you get your own. We're going to make our own classes. I'm like, also, we also have challenges back. Meaningful social mechanics. Engaging explorations. Yay. Again, it might work. It might work perfectly. And it might be the greatest thing since sliced bread. On the other hand, they have a legally distinct tiefling in here. So, I'm not... My expectations are low, so I'm never disappointed. Video explained spell duels, which are reactions that you make. You resolve a spell as opposed rolls to interrupt someone else's. Oh boy, I sure do love mass counterspelling. That'll be fun. Counterspell, 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 counterspell. Don't you love getting endlessly counterspelled? But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, spells are 1 act. All spells are 1 action. Oh, fucking wizards are gonna be broke as shit if they can get their mana back easy. Place a counterspell. Counterspelling is 2 reactions. Oh goodness. Again, I'll have to look into it. Maybe I'm missing the maybe I'm missing the most beautiful, thing in the world. And it's going to be a perfect game of all shape and sort. So, last night I wrote this section. I said, fuck it, I'm going to write this out a little bit. Generally speaking, we changed the system. System is a little bit more basic. All you're going to be doing for 95% of rolls is you're going to be trying to find their difficulty value. Difficulty value is composed of adversity and complexity. If I'm making an average intermediate difficulty check, I'm going to be taking 2d6 and rolling it, and you need to beat it with your die. That's all that it is. So if I'm making a very hard, intricate check, I would be rolling a d10 plus d12. All that it is. Every single thing is an opposed roll of some variety. Now, I kind of like the idea of, adversity is the obstacle before the adjudicators. This is just, how difficult is the thing that you're actually trying to do? And, overall. The complexity is time, effort, and trouble they'll be putting in to make it succeed. Saying, hey, I need to move a boulder. Moving a boulder is pretty fucking hard. It's very hard. We gotta shove this boulder off to the side. And it's gonna take a long time to do, and it's pretty intricate. It's D10 plus D12. Damn, that's gonna take a long time for me to deal with. On the other hand, you see the issue. One of the big things here is, hey, you get a bonus, you're trying to reduce the complexity. It's a lot easier to reduce complexity than it is to adversity. How hard? How complicated is it? Which does mean we're going to add in... Generally speaking, the system is not terribly complicated, and it didn't need to be terribly complicated either. Did a little bit on baptism at midnight. So let's see. What do we need in this game? That's a question. What do we need? Well, part of me is, I guess we can add in. Mm. Mm. Sinners, saints and sinners. What am I looking at here? Because all this is an opposed roll. I take my stats versus your stats. Whoever wins, wins. Easy peasy, lemon yo squeezy. Here. Don't need you anymore. That gone. We can. So we've broken it down to this. What else do we need? I feel like we're missing something. Actually, yeah, good dice, bad dice. So, can add in the system later on, so we have a little bit to work with. Let's call it, heresy die. Hey. Let's see. The adjudicator. Lord of the Holy Church, armed with. It was a cruel place since the fall of Eden, however, and faith with faith and heresy running rampant. Faith die are bonus. Bonus is actually the faith die is a bonus die that the adjudicator will add. The roll under. Faith die is the bonus die that the adjudicator will add to the roll under fortunate circumstances or. This increases. This follows the step die. Step die of D4, D6, 8, D8, 10, 12. D20 follows step die of D4, D6, D8, 12, D20. Let's see. This follows the step die. Up to D20, representing the absolute. Actually, no. Fucking. Thank you very much for subscribing. Thank you very much, Kisser. Automatically just dipping to three views when I am doing unfun math bullshit. Welcome to my life. Yeah, people have been posting some weird stuff going on. Let's see. Either roll to unfortunate circumstances. Planning. Actually, oh. Believe I call that. Jack. Prepare ahead of time. Well, let's see. Exorcism, yeah. To aid in their trapping a devil on holy ground to aid in their exorcism. Actually, would it be exercise a demon? If it's an exorcism, it would be simple to bring a flare to light up the darkness around them to Stepping a devil on holy ground to assist the adjudicator in their it's exorcism. Once added, faith die cannot be removed. Faith die comes entirely from the preparation. Heresy die is the malevolent hell working against the adjudicator. Adjudicator. Let's see, heresy died. Malevolent forces of hell working against the adjudicator in their efforts. which in order to create suffocating, I should say, create suffocating darkness would add a heresy die to That's kind of the idea. Advocatus Diaboli. Diaboli. We'll add to the Advocatus Diaboli. DV. Set for. So Faith and Heresy die are just buff debuff dice. Yeah, effectively. There are way of making advantage disadvantage and systems like that, while also just making it there, putting it there, but we can also work with this later on. If we add this in here now, we can make it work. Mostly, we can actually add. So, let's see. And others' assistance. The lead will add their attribute and skill die as normal. Skill die as normal, while the assistants will add their skill die, will add only their skill die. As a faith die, as a faith die to the check. As there can only be one faith die in play. Actually, let's see. Let's see. Let's see, increase one's faith or heresy die by a step. Yeah. That's kind of the idea. You only have one of these. If you stack a bunch of bonuses and you have a d20, you can't add another faith die. You just roll a d20. It's one die instead of having a multiple die. However, this is where things get a little bit odd. Faith die to the check, and there can only be one faith die. Each assistant. Mm. 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 Ellen. May require a minimum skill time to even act as an assistant. A more complicated task may require a minimum skill die to even act as an assistant. Oh yeah. It's kind of like the idea of like, hey, you're just not very good at this thing. Like, you're not going to help. Like, you know, for kind of like an example, like mechanics, you have like D4 mechanics. No, I have a D. Like, we're fixing something way more complicated than that. You're not going to help with D4 mechanics. You need like a D7. You need like a D8 or something minimum help. That means like you're gonna get more help out of it. On the other hand, you're locking people down, and that's fine. So this, we do this. I think a lot of people, like, I think the thing with Break is that I think there was a lot of people who, I mean, Break made $600,000. So you have to remember that. Break wasn't a little tiny itty bitty game. We've almost hit 2,000 views on it. It wasn't like this itty bitty little baby game. It made $600,000. I think a lot of people want to know more about Break, and no one really talked about it after it kind of came out. I think that's the thing that people got really confused about, is that not many people talked about Break. There was one comment I saw, it was where was it? It was on the Break video, and it made a weird amount of sense. Where was it? Let's see. It was, I got a lot of comments. That seemed quite as fuck. No, that's a cloud break. There was one comment that I saw that was kind of like, that's kind of a interesting comment to make, which is like, hey, there is a bunch of people, like, there's a bunch of people who always talk about it, but it's always about the artwork. It's never about the actual game. And like, yeah, this is like the first time someone actually talked about the game. You know, it's the, like, people apparently never talked about the game, really? Which was kind of odd. Kind of odd how some games make some noise in Kickstarter, and I think it's like once it kind of reaches out of its initial kind of bubble, people look at it more and they're like, oh, well, it's just this. It's just another game. It's just another game like this. That's kind of the idea. I think a lot of people get very, I wouldn't say frustrated by it. I think people kind of say, oh, well, yeah, the hype train reaches the station. That's kind of the, actually, some of, but yeah, no, it's, oh, by the way, there's something I posted about Harm in your DM. Yes, I did see that about Harm, which was very interesting. I meant to talk about that, actually. I was gonna post that, actually. This is actually from one of our people, Draco. Scald, for, very interested in my back burner, having full blessing contact with the company. Thanks, Scald, for literally working for Columbia, so we had a green light. Columbia, are we talking about Hardmaster? Yeah. Apparently, Scald game, apparently this game, Scald Against the Black Priory, I believe it's Scald, it might not be, but apparently this guy worked for Columbia, i.e. Hardmaster, for a while, and he wrote for them while making this game, so that's kind of cool. We have an unofficial Hardmaster game. I actually thought about picking up, thought about picking up Scald, because it looked kind of interesting. I was going to kind of wait for it to... This is the kind of game that you need, like, 2-3 months to really get a good idea of, like, okay, all the, the little live patches and stuff. You need, like, 2-3 months before, like, the game-breaking nightmare patches. Oh, this is a confused identity. No! Oh, this is confusing. Scald is just a Discord name. He is CK23. Aw, man. See, you got my hopes up here, Drac. I'm like, oh boy, the guy who worked at Scald worked at Columbia Games. No, he's just a CK2 modder. The Draco gets my hopes up and then dashes my hopes upon the fucking rock. God, this man. All my hopes and dreams keeps breaking them horribly. Over, Kings. So fucking over. Okay. So we do assistance, faith and heresy die. Playing the game. What are we missing? We are missing extended checks, technically. How do we want to do it? Do we need extended checks? Do we need extended checks? If I don't put them in, someone might ask about them. Let's see, an extended check is a series of checks. Let's see, an extended check is a series of checks. It's the time. That wouldn't be difficult. Actually, no, it'd be time, difficulty, and project time is a measure. Time. Let's see. Time is a measure. Time is a measure of how long it is between different. Moments, moment into moments, seconds, actually moments, minutes, hours, days, weeks, months. Mm. 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 6. Mm. Number 3. 3, 7, 3, 7. Mm. 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 Let's see, beats DV a number of times, more times than. Mm. 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 Not exactly a complicated system, but a system that effectively, the entire idea here is that you are making a number of checks, so you might have a check of, like, I don't know, D6, D6. You have to make a number of those with effort 7. You beat 4 of these, and it takes you hours. It would take 4 hours for you to do this successfully. It could take you 5, 6 hours possibly if you fail enough time. If you don't do well, it could take you a lot longer. That's kind of the problem. It's like, okay, you've spent time like old school RPG, TRPG. Greetings, fellow faithful. I have arrived late. What I miss? Funny. Good kabaraching. Good kabaraching. Nothing. We just talked about OGL Crisis games. We talked a little bit about DC-20. We talked a little bit about MCDM RPG, Tales of the Valiant. You know, the usual. The usual suspects. So yeah, we're just working on this because we have to. Here's extended checks. Technically I should put in a table, which is going to be canon law, rounding rounding any time a number ends up as fraction ends up as decimal. Round down. 3.25 becomes 3. 7.75 becomes 7, etc., etc. If it is noted to round up, but by default, it is which then we add in dice ladder. Frequently throughout this manuscript, there will be dice ladder or steps of die. This is measured starting at D4, starting at D4, 6, D8. Let's see, starting at a four-sided die, D4. The entire order is 4, 6, 8, 10. For those using more exotic, i.e. heretical die. That's gonna skip a law, you know. You wouldn't break the law, would you? You wouldn't be cringe and break the law, right? You're not a fucking heretic, right? You're not a heretic. Heresy most bold. There could be heretics here, he said. Heresy most bold. Okay. Referring to the likes of the D16? Yes. The normal. What do term crab bucket games mean? The crab bucket is a term that is used to, the crab bucket mentality, or crab mentality, is based off of this. This is a bucket of crabs. Now, the thing is, crabs can very easily climb out of the bucket. They can get out of the bucket. However, they must rely on all of the other crabs below them to let them climb out. However, the crabs below will always drag them back down. One tries to escape, they will be clipped, and they will be dragged back down. The crab bucket is a more rough term indicating, effectively, it's really hard to get out of a sphere with a bunch of other people because everyone will do their best to pretty much drag you back down with them. No one wants you to get better. Everyone wants to get better before you because it's just that's just how things go. With when they call it crab bucket games, because here's what's going to happen. Because what's going to happen is that there's going to be one D&D. The Glorious game. There's going to be one D&D. There's going to be Tales of the Valiant. There's going to be DC-20. There's going to be the MCDM RPG. There's going to be probably, I think there's like 2 other ones here. I believe people announced like, oh, here's 2 other ones. These are all games that are going to be fighting for your attention, but all of them are going to be very similar to one another. We don't want Tales of the Valiant to get ahead of everyone else because I need to get ahead of everyone else, because I need to get ahead of everyone, and then everyone kind of defaults back to normal. That's kind of the idea of the crab bucket. Nobody wants anyone else to get better. But, okay, I think I get it. So it's lack of progress for an individual because the local competition with similar fields, like D2. Yeah, that's kind of the idea. It's like, if everyone has all these D20 games. Kind of like, honestly, like, the OSR community is a pretty good one. Like, there's a shit ton of OSR games, but the OSR community hates everyone inside the OSR community because everybody else wants to be the only OSR game. So they'll all fight. They don't want to uplift one another very much. And if they do, like, let's uplift a game together, it's usually followed by, don't forget to get my game as well. And that's like, wait a second. You're not trying to uplift anyone. You just want to get your thing up there. There's some validity and some non-validity to the idea of the crab bucket. You see it a lot in the indie sphere because the indies do not want anyone else to be better than them. Nature of the beast. So this is a bit baptism by midnight. I kind of wrote a little bit more about adjudicators. It's effectively, they are, find themselves before the Holy Church as a combination of sinner and saint. They bear the mark of sin upon their heart to resist the machination of demonic taint, affecting their soul and body. Their road to beatification is affirmed by their connection to a holy relic, bound to them by heart and soul. The adjudicator is blessed and cursed with their station, a road marked with nobility and violence. Effectively, I want the idea of, like, adjudicators can be technically anyone. It's just that you are kind of, you are very larger than life people, but you've been bound to a holy relic, but you're also kind of got that edge to you where you can wade into hell a little bit and start blasting. Yeah, someone might be bound to a holy relic, however, they may not be actually cut out for killing things. They aren't an adjudicator worthy. They might become a saint of some variety. They might get regulated to a church somewhere in the middle of the fucking, they might be locked away somewhere in Rome because they have they have the miraculous ability to heal people with a touch. That's pretty fucking cool. But you aren't gonna go out there and start killing demons. Everyone's like, yeah, you're not fucking killing any demons. And are you laughing at me for my Glor Schizo die system? Yeah, technically, D16 die do exist. You have to remember that. D16, D8, D14 exist, and D18 exist. All of these dice are awful, and they're cursed. Every single one of them are cursed meat. Almost all of them are usually for DCC dice. Because, DCC actually requires you have a full set of these kind of dice. Like D14, D16. I don't think you need a D18, but like D7s, D30s, D24s. You need the whole set, obviously. You probably don't, but you get the idea. But yeah, like the hard one to get a hold of would be a D18 die. D18 do exist. They are effectively spheres. They are the weirdest looking fucking dice ever. They are little spheres. They're little terrible spheres. But in theory, the beat combat system can accommodate adding them to the mix, and arguably, it would be even more efficient, to have a 14, 16, 18. But 14, 16, 18 die are extremely less common than every other type of die. That's just something you have to understand. You can buy a D12 a lot of places. Wait a second, that adds up. Oh no, that adds up. Spartan, no! But, yeah, that's kind of the idea. Like, you can add those dies. I don't know how you would, but you can do them. So, One thing that I'm going to be doing, and that I need to keep a note for myself, we are not going to be the Catholic Church anymore. Specifically, we are never going to cite the Catholic Church. It is always going to be the Holy Church. It's going to look Catholic. It's going to be Catholic. However, it's going to be very exclusively, yes, the Holy Church. This is literally just a meme. Just to fuck with people. Being like, yeah, it's Catholic. Be like, no, it's the Holy Church. With a Pope. You know, the Pope. Of the Holy Church. You mean the Catholic Church? No, the Holy Church. The Holy Catholic, no, just holy. That's all it is, because I noticed that a lot in JTRPGs. No. You have different denominations based on the disciples? No. No reason. You're still going to be Catholic. We're just going to reference it as the Holy Church, because that's what it's usually mentioned in a lot of these games. And not a lot of these games, a lot of these manga, like kind of the manga, the kind of stories is, it's not the Catholic Church, it's the Holy Church. Very different. Or you could do the Kingdom Buttons of Fire and deal with the Scariots. You don't understand. Legally, we can't call them the Iscariot Order. Technically, legally speaking, we are not going to be the Iscariots. Legally speaking, we cannot call them that. Legally speaking. However, I'm also not dumb. However, so those were things. Will this game have a Mormon mode? If we get big enough and we get popular enough and people seem to express interest in interest in Shrine Maiden mode, Belmont mode, yeah, we can probably make legally distinct dogs in the vineyard. I'd probably end up calling it something like Desert Hounds or something. Just being like, yeah, you're just fucking cowboys. What are you? You're demonic exorcising cowboys of the Church of Love, Church of Love and Faith. Oh, Shadversity. If we do that, I would need to double down on the Trigun stuff. We just make it a Trigun game at that point. Let's see. We want to do... The adjudicators are drawn from all walks of life in and out of the... Enter. Actually. Evolve disciple. Mm. 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 You who enter. Mm. 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 Let's see. You who enter as disciples. Mm. 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 Most enter end up in one of the other 12. Because let me, if I remember correctly, in Hellsing is Scariot. Scariot has a very Vatican section 13. Mm. Mm. Must end up in one of the other 12 sections of the Vatican. Section of the Vatican. Let's see. If you enter as disciples, enter the 13th section of the Vatican. Must end up in one of the other 12. One of the other 12. 12 managing the operation. Let's look. Let's see. You don't retire. Burial agency leading bot. Adjudicator. Yeah, we're just doubling down on it. Let's see, dispatching adjudicator, go man or end up dead, may compete for one of the 7 seats of the burial agency, leading body adjudicators, and the whole assets. Few. Let's see. The adjudicators today are trained. Assets. Oh. Mm. Mm. That. We do that. Create an adjudicator. Mm. 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 No, it'd be Aeronat and among the seventh section of the Holy Church, the term anima type applies to paranatural and supernatural entities that walk the earth. Many of the natural, let's see, natural, paranatural, and supernatural entities that walk the well, one was crafted by God in the guise of Adam and Eve. Other. Or simply don't care. Or simply don't care when choosing an anima. When choosing an anima type. Adjudicator's anima type indicates who they indicates, how do I want to word? Indicates their indicates their base attribute. Indicates their base attributes as well. Indicates their base attributes. Let's see. This is one of those weird mechanics that I need to do something with, which is you have the XP deficit. Starting XP can be improved, thus will need to accumulate to improve themselves further. It's kind of a weird thing. It's a weird balance issue. That's kind of the thing, is it's like, it's a weird, like, the balance thing, the idea behind this was, hey, some things are just going to be stronger right off the bat. A vampire is going to be way tougher than most other people because vampires are vampires. They're big, they're tough, they're mean. They're going to have a lot more toys than a human does. On the other hand, humans are very adaptable and they get a bunch of starting experience points. Therians are a lot tougher. They don't have a lot of things to play around with and they have to buy a lot of things later on. Golems, they don't really have anything. Golems just have a D-fucking-20. That's their gimmick. They have a D20. Something about this doesn't feel right. I don't know what that is. So we need to fix it, because fixing things is what we do best. Hear it. There's a little fly in my room, and it's been driving me nuts. I need to harass Cole. Hmm. 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 This fucking party bus that just went by. What the fuck are you? Holy shit, that's horrifying. Not a fucking fly. Jesus. What the fuck is that? Not a fly, that's a goddamn... That is the largest fly I have ever seen. That is horrifying. I hate it, and I want it to die. Give me a minute. I did not get him, but that is the... I've never seen a fly that big. Thing was huge. We don't get horse flies around here. No, that's why I was like, why the fuck is there a giant fucking bulk fly here? Fucking bloat lord fly. I'm like, fuck off, bloat lord fly. No one likes you. I tried to smack him, but don't worry, I've got my expert smacking book. So if he shows his ugly mug around here again, I'll smack him one. Leave his gut splayed out so all his fly friends know that this is a non-fucking around zone. He's gonna show up any moment now. I hope you know that. When I start working on things, he's gonna buzz around. Little jackass. Little fucker. Beelzebub is trying to stop my holy work. So, let's get back to work. So, next starting skill ranks. What would be a good way of saying experience? What's a good way of indicating experience points without saying experience points? Because experience points are weird. Training? That doesn't sound right. Trials? That's too much. Trials sound weird. It's effectively just... It's experience points, but I don't want to just put experience. Like, that... I don't know. Something sounds wrong with that. I use for Samata. Hello, Samata. I'm the blood cult of the Yakula. No. Insight could work. Yeah, no. And let's see. Adjudicator's anima type indicates their base attributes, skill ranks, and starting insight. More powerful. More powerful anima types may not have access to. That's kind of the idea. It is 60 XP, one more anima type undead. We don't this as much. So if we do this correctly, everything starts at D6. Where's my XP system? Zippity zoo, zippity day, zippity doo dah, zippity wee. Zippity doo dah, zippity day, zippity doo dah, zippity dee. Alternatively, we just say fuck it and we just wing it because fuck it, we ball. Okay, so humans. Actually, let's see. Starting in let's see. Adjudicators. Where are you, son of a bitch? I know you're fucking here. Agent of Beelzebub. Oh, there you are, you son of a bitch. Ah, fuck. God, is this real? Fucker, get out of my closet. You're out there. Are. Yeah. Got away. You're listening to a man Major Nevada. Fuck you, Horace. I am on a hunt of finding a fly, and flies have an agility bonus, motherfucker. Those fuckers can fly. I can't fly. I cannot fly. He is flying around. He can dodge. He's aerial fucking dodging. I can't aerial roll to hit. I don't do that. Plus 12 AC. Yeah, nah, I can't fucking do that. I'm rolling with fucking improvised weapons here. He's bloat maxing hope. Trickster. Royal Guard. Royal Guard. He's gonna show up in the middle of the fucking night, and I'm gonna fucking kill him. Or worse, because he's flying, like, behind my bed. I'm like, you son of a bitch, you're gonna fly into my face in the middle of the night, and I'm gonna be terrified and punch myself in the face. Okay, so, let's get back to work. So humans have access to all natural miracle. There's a lot of information that goes on here, so I'm like, let's see. The adjudicators. There's a lot of information here. Arguably, we may want to put anima type later. Let's see. Humanity. So, humanity has been... Let's see. Men has been inherited of the world since the end of the garden, while they have partaken in sin and committed atrocity in both the name of and in spite of, in name of and in spite of the Holy Church. From the majority of the adjudicators with many see, they form the majority of the adjudicators. Humanity have access to all of the natural miracles and have a starting purity of 10. And have starting purity of 10. Yeah, it's just like, yeah, humans are just around. They are the most numerous, and they are the most powerful. Yeah, I think I'm going to... May I recommend a $10 desk bug zapper? Probably. My mom has one downstairs, and I might, if it's still there, she won't be home for another few hours, so I could probably go downstairs, steal her bug zapper, plug it in, and then have it zap the bug. But let's see, humanity... Like, generally speaking, what more lore would you add to humanity? Actually, no. Like, what lore would you add here? Yeah, this is always like one of those like really weird situations where you just have to sit down there and think for a moment and you're like, huh, yeah, like what do you add for lore about humans? What's human lore? Human lore. What do you what do you fucking put in there? What the fuck? What? Huh? Um uh huh. Huh. Oh. Uh So, gamers, deep lore being intuitive for humanity's humanity. There's nothing more to say. The aeons past findings arc than one might expect, but yeah, honestly, when I typed in human lore, I was expecting like a Hyperborea edit or like Alien Lamau. Like I was expecting that, not. I mean, we gotta. Okay, detour. We're human alphabet friends. Human alphabet lore. Alphabet friends? What? Huh? And, this... My Filipino alphabet lore. I feel like we're going down a rabbit hole that no one. Oh, okay. Oof. I need my alphabet friends little dark age edits. I'm so confused. Alphabet friends? Oh, welcome here. It's what do you fucking mean? It's just what is this? A place for our alphabet friends to chat with one another. Of alphabet lore? What do you fucking mean? Is this a thing? Alphabet friends? Is this a thing? Alphabet lore? Huh? Alphabet series, animated web series. So it's an animated web series about... He does look like a kid who would be N. Don't you all agree that N would be that? What is... What... Like I'm... feel like I'm seeing things. Feels like I'm... I'm going down a place where I shouldn't be going. Is this porn? Is this pornographic imagery of... I was expecting little Dark Age edits, but I don't... And, oh, I'm gonna... Yep, there's... Kidnapped? Yeah. Nope. Nope. No. Little Dark Age edits. 10,000 years of Little Dark Age edits. Okay. God was not watching us when we did that, therefore it's fine. We're not going to talk about it. X is all natural miracles of starting purity of 100. Let's think. You are the adjudicators. Adjudicators. Ah. So it's kind of like one of those things. It's like, what is the best way of wording? How would we break up human being? That's a weird thing to say, but how would you break up human being? Because you can break up humans as through, like, age. You're just older. Because you are older, you have problems. You might be you might be smarter. You know, you might have better faith and better will, but you're not as strong. That's one option. Alternatively, we can do it through, complete column. Alternatively, we could just add this. This would be... Technically, we could add this over... here. I need... Commandant. We could add something else over here to help break it up a little bit. But how would you break it up? Unless we want to do, like... effectively like a background, almost. If we do it something more like a background... Like, it's not even, like, what you are. It's just, like, what's your actual background? Where did you come from? Are you born in the church? Are you a thug? Are you this? Are you X, Y, and Z? That could work. Kind of gets the nature across a little bit easier, rather than just, like, here's your age. So, I mean, if we do, Character backgrounds. Human beings. What are the depths of human nature that you can think of? You've always been part of the church. You were raised in the church. You were born into the church. This is something that you've always known, always have been. You are a church orphan. You have high faith. You have high faith, high will, low skills. Everything else is kind of medium. You are a prodigy. You are just really fucking good at your job about doing this. And you're not really part of the faith, if in that case. It's not who you are. It's never been who you are. You've been way too adept to this shit. What else are we working with here? D&D homebrew. Gonna fucking die, gonna fucking kill myself. Think I'm gonna kill myself. I mean, if we want to, we can do do something like that. Let's think. You're part of the church. You're naturally always good at this. You were just kind of picked up off the street, being like, "Hey, you've got it. You've got the look, kid." Not necessarily kids, just like, yeah, you're not actually even an urchin would be actually, we can even call it hey, you were just kind of drawn in from one of the other sections. This isn't even your forte. This has never been your forte. You kind of got dragged into the adjudicators on accident. What would be some other good backgrounds? Give me something to work with here, people. Actually, no. Chat GPT, Magic Internet Machine. Hello. Hello. Oh, how can I assist you today? I need about a dozen backgrounds for a modern character in a TTRPG. Keep them 1 to 2 each. The Dr. Chef, gag journalist, teacher. Pretty normal person. Enslaved. What would you be enslaved by? Remember, this is still relatively modern. That's kind of the thing. Like, this is still modern. It would be military. You can give it a very pretentious. Call yourself a crusader. You were just part of one of the church's weird super death cults. So let's give ourselves something. Let's just type in numbers real fast and just see what pops up. So church, let's say D8, D6, 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 D8. But you only get but you get actually for doing 2, so that would be with multiple skills. Let's say you get 5 skill. Let's say you get 5 skill ranks. Actually, let's say you get 8 skill ranks. You're not even that great. Civilian, D6, D6, D6. 4 there. You're not very tough. You're just a regular dude. You get to 8, but you get about if we'd say 8th on the low end, let's say you get 12 skill ranks there. You can get some pretty decent skills because you're a pretty normal dude. Actually, if we do 8 is low, so we would want to do like 15 skill ranks. Like, you're not super tough. Crusader, D6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We can probably put you that under Wretch. Kind of like the Wretch is like, yeah, you were just kind of picked up when you really shouldn't have. So, if we give everyone, let's say basically everyone, all humans get 15 insight. Not perfect, but you get 15 insight. You can spread it around, prove yourself, nothing much to really work with. If we do, let's see, so would that be 3, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2 skill. So this would be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 12, 2, 2, 3. So that would be 4, 5, 6, 10. A little bit less, get some. Easy enough to understand. Humanity, add lore per background. Mm. 2-3 sentence paragraph, nothing too much. Kind of the idea is that humanity, you've got more of your background, which is like, hey, you're a heretic, fucking belonging to a vampire clan, you're a wretch, you just kind of picked up by someone. Then we have Lamia, bloodsucker, Nosferatu, beast, more commonly known as vampires, are alive and well in the world. They feast on the blood of survival and find pain and sunlight as their body twists. Malady vampire sort of disease. Most consume blood of others and exhibit to burning, Lamia knowing the faith and reclusive and young for their kind. Decades longer than most, even upwards of centuries if they're able to care of them. Lamia adjudicators want to keep it kind and the more feed on. Mouth of sin and righteousness was. Now it's pretty easy to get blood packs. Sin and righteousness, or it was. Now it's pretty, let's. Let's see, Or it was. With them modernizing the easy access of their goods, most of the ancient vampire clans have become billionaire moguls in reclusive castles in Europe. Mm, 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 mm. No, let's see. Or did you sometimes target will hunt themselves or hunt themselves? Desperate. Mm, 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 mm. Rush of Song. Valuable. Hell, so it's that. Let's see. Let's see. They have 1 4 1 8 4 4 8 12 14 15 4 4 8 12 15 they don't have an XP deficit anymore. However, they have dog shit skills. That's going to be a very common factor, is that they have dog shit skills. They don't have any insight. That's kind of the problem with being a vampire. It's kind of start off kind of weaker than others because you don't have any insight. Don't have very good skills. You are relying a lot more on your attribute. Let's see. So this would be D4 Faith, 10, D10, and X. So this 1 4 1 4 4 2 1 4 4 2. So that would low. This would 2 4 2 2 5. Dun, dun. Ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da, do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Let's see. So, 2, 2. And this would be 5, 2, 2, 2. Which would all. Everything adds up. Good job. Good job, previous notepad, actually being able to do math properly. Amazing. Amazing, boss. That's why you're the best. So skill ranks. Dumping it all into one skill, you would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 that you could get one thing up to D12. You're gonna probably want to spread it around. You can just spread 3 points on 2 or 2 points on. Actually, here's what we could. So, dice value, arbit value. So D4, 1, D6, D8, D10, 4, D5, D20. We're going to make that 7 because it's a very big jump in power. So, dice value, arbit value. However, what we do is we do skill ranks, arbit value. We can do 6, 1, 8, 2, 10, 3, 12, 4. If we do it by 4 each, do it by 2 each, we can do something like this, and then it would be like, technically if we want to go up to 10, it would be, this would be our, if we do, all of these are 15, and we want to give them a decent number of skills to... If we want to achieve perfect balance... Actually, this, and then assign an arbit value to our insight. Insight, our arbit value would be, arbit's just arbitrary value. Arbitrary value, if we do 0, would be 0. We do 10, we do 5 would be 1, 10 would be 2, 15 would be 3, 20 would be 5 would. So this is our arbit. So if we maintain our arbit values perfect across the board, we want everyone to be vaguely equal. I want everyone to be vaguely equal to one another. If we're doing that, we need to do our arbit value, doing our correctly. Do checks. Ooh. So, arbit value. Time to determine the basic human arbit value. Arbitrary value is just an indication of how strong someone is. So this is going to be 3, 2, 2, 2, 3. Technically, this would be 1. Inside 15 would be 3. You would end up with 16. Here it would be 2, 2, 2, 1, 3. Skill rank 10 would be 3. Inside 15 would be 3. You end up with 16. Crusaders would be 2, 1, 3, 3, 2, 2, 16. Heretic 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 15. So we need to bump you up somewhere. So the heretic needs to get bumped up to 10 here, because if we bump him up to 10, he becomes 16. Prodigy would be 2, 3, 3, 2, 16 section. 3 would be 16. Wretch would be 1. Wretch in the Wretch, we can 6 in strength. 6 and 2. Arbit value 16. Cuckoo choo choo. But this correctly, feel like Arbit value not going to be good enough in our Arbit. So, Arbit 0, 0, 0, 0 insight, skill rank 6, skill rank 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 4, 4, 4, 2, 18. So we actually need to increase the bloodline potency. Need to increase you up by at least 1. As a beast, you can get, let's give you 8. Give you 8 skill ranks to play with. Your skill ranks increases 2. This is your Arbit value there. 4, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2. That would, if we actually no, this is 18. Oh, East would need to now 17. We need to do, actually, if we decrease your will by 1, you only have a D4. Very easy. That's kind of your nature a little bit. Blah, 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 blah. Sweet Caroline. Blah, blah, blah. So if your will 1, we wait. You need to be 16, so your will needs to go back up. Actually, 2. You to 2. We keep down lower because that's fine. Don't really have insight, unfortunately, but that's nature. 2, 3, 2, 1, 16 perfectly. Lords 5, 2. Leave all 16. Cuckoo choo choo. On the other hand, we might want to give these. Why don't we give these guys an Arbit value of 18 instead? Vampires, because at the end of the day, humans are going to have access to all of the miracles, and they don't have to worry about their miracles failing as much, because Lamia don't have access to all of the Lamia don't have access to all of the miracles. So if we want to increase these up by a bit, we can probably give them a 5. Why don't we give them a 5? Because if we increase their finesse to D12, and then we increase their skill ranks to 10, beasts are very fast, they are very agile, they are not very willful, and they have 0 fucking faith. They're not very good at that. Knights, on the other hand, let's see, we increase your... As a knight, let's increase your finesse and your toughness. Still don't increase any of your skill rank. You are just a lot tougher than the average bear. So that would be... You're going to mostly be dumping your points into your skills as a knight. You may be strong, but you're not very good at most things. A knight Lamia is going to be really good at fighting, but nothing much. Hollow. The Hollow Men. They're going to get 2, and they're going to increase their faith up. So if we increase your faith to D8 and we increase skill ranks to 8, that have a work with. And lords of the mighty. We can do that. If we do that, that means your strength becomes D8, your toughness becomes D8. All the vampires are pretty tough, all things considering. What if we decrease you and increase you? So now hollows are better across the board. Hollows are better across the board. However, lords are going to end up with a lot more faith, and they're going to have a little bit less finesse, but they're also going to have very bad skills. So they don't really... Lords are really hyper-focused and doing only a very handful of things. Let's actually switch you. Because if we switch you will, that means you're a little bit more charismatic as a lord. That means a little bit more forceful. That's fine. Therians are going different as usual. We'd call them. Therians are also going to be operating on the 18. Let's say they're going to operate still on the 18 variable. They operate on the 18 variable. That should work as well. So we want to do families. Actually, we can. You're working on the Euducis. Yes, we're working on Cruciform. Welcome to Autistic Math with Notepad add-on, in which we throw our face at math, and effectively what we're trying to do at this point is this is our arbitrary value, our arbits. Our arbits these need to be 18, and humans need to be 16. Why do humans need to be 16, you say? Humans need to be 16 because they have access to all of the miracles, and they're very adaptable, and they can do a lot of things. These guys only have access to very few miracles. So it's kind of like you're trading out a lot. You're trading out some initial bonus points for the idea of having kind of a lot more avenues for you to explore. So right now we are on Therian. Lizard men. So insight. Let's say you're gonna get. Let's play a game. That game is going to be, what if we give the Therians 10 insight to play around with right at the beginning of the game? Yep, they get 10 insight. They get 10 XP to play with right off the bat. Skill ranks. Let's make them actually skill rank. Now, as of right now, 1 3 3 1 4 4 3 15. We need to bring you up to 18. Give you. Let's increase will to 2 and then 2. So a wolf would go up to D6 will, and you would have 10 skill ranks. 10 insight. Bear, you're a bear. 1 1 1 1 4 5 2 2. We can increase you to 7. We do 7 1. bears have D20 toughness right off the bat, but they have dog shit skills. They have very poor skills. Why? They're just big, they're tough. They don't think about anything too extensive. They have a little bit of leeway to play around with, but their toughness is... They don't really share the faith. They are not very agile. This is going to be punishing if they want to use any kind of range weapon. Are you going to include the chest face people? Probably not, unless I can make them more Japanime. They might be part of the they might be part of the deep lore, but again, we're not probably, because I don't know where to put them. Rats. We are the rats. 3, 4, 2, 2, 2. 15. What if we give you 3 skill rank? What if we just gave you a bunch of skills? You have 8. You have 6. Actually, 8, 6, 10. The rats just have a lot more. Little rat men have a lot of things to play with. Lizards, wizard lizards, wizard lizard, and the funky fresh friends. Cat people. Do we have any cat people? Werecats. It's a werecat. Let's put him. Let's put in the cats. We are the cats. Actually, if we bring you to 7, you have really good fucking skills. Kind of mid. If we put you at 4, you're way too high. If we put you at 1, we do this spread, and actually dump you, we increase you. You have just you have some rat skills, so effectively if we put in our legally distinct cat girl, put in some cat girls, so it would be D4, D12, 6, D6. We could probably even bring toughness down a little bit. D8, 10. If we want, we can bring toughness down. Actually, here, let's do cats and Catholic. Cats and Catholicism. Born a Satan spirit led to huge number of cats being killed throughout Egypt to China. Let's see. Important Christianity. Only animals that are allowed to enter the temples. What do you spirituality, how does it feel about Cath R? Do I do Okay, so we don't have anything there to justify increasing their faith. If we keep their toughness, keeping their toughness there, fine. We can add in our cat girls. We add in our cat girls and everyone's happy. Which does bring 3. That would be 10. Actually, we can bring this. Yeah, let's keep that at D8 and 10. That's pretty reasonable. Or do we dump toughness and put it into skill? You know what? Let's dump toughness. Dump toughness, bump it into skills. So that would be 18. Should add up to 18. Yes, yes, they have a value of 18. Yeah, cats are ortho bros. I mean, it's kind of the idea of like giving bears a d20 is literally you are a fucking werebear. You are as strong as a golem. The only issue is that you have kind of dog shit insight. Actually, you know what we can even do? We can do that with bears. Increase their faith up a little bit and decrease the skill ranks of them. And it's like, hey, as a bear, you are probably you are the most set in your ways. You aren't going to get any skill ranks really. Your toughness is really huge. You're a really strong person. Unfortunately, you are still mortal. That's kind of the idea. Is like, as a werebear, you are a brick shithouse. That's kind of your prerogative. What we can do though with golems is that we can make golems an arbit of 8. We make golems an arbit of 18, and we can give them a bunch more insight. Kind of the idea of like, yeah, golems can literally go anywhere in their life. A lot of them just hyper fixate on their one thing. That's going to kind of mold you who you are. Technically, people did demand. We did get a demand for another one of the. Do we want to do foxes and the Catholic Church? Gee, what to say about foxes? Catch us for little foxes spoil the vineyards, our vineyards are in blossom. Represent Catholicism. Foxes represent our sins. All we do is resist the word of God. So the favorite fox contrasted that with is contrasted with that of the kingdom of God. The fox is represented in the Bible, symbol of craftiness, destruction, desolation, and astute survival. Cunningness and adaptability. Cunningness. So what's Catholic? Let's see. So foxes are not very faithful. They have really good finesse. Foxes are generally stronger than cats, have higher toughness than cats, not nearly as willful, nor are they as skilled. There we go. Have no fear. Have no fear, bros. We can have D4, D12. So you're kind of indirectly competing with cats as a fox. You have a D8 strength, D6 toughness, D6 will, but you only have 10 skill ranks. Cats are generally going to be smarter than you. They're going to have more things to fuck around with. You, on the other hand, do not. Fox. the infinite grind. The wolf, the bear, the rat, cat, the fox. Rats have faith. Why do the rats have the faith? Because the rats believe. That's all that matters with the rats. What we can do is we're bumping you up. There we go. Rats have the faith. They believe. They believe in the good book. Actually, what we can do is we can even dump this and make it 12. We bring rats down to bring rats down to 1 insight, make you 4 skill ranks, 1 will. You can bully your rat girl wife, your little mouse girl, little mouse girl wife to do things. Let's see. Actually, this would be Thanks, Gertrude. There we go. Finally, we can play. You can now play as your fox girl waifu in the Catholic Church game. Finally, gaming. What more do you want? Comodanto, Bolde. So golems don't have XP deficit anymore. They just have this. So select all you. Actually, we have our arbit value. Down here, put here golems. It's Golemin time, everyone. So technically, if we want to be, here's our arbit value. If we do 71111, they have. Oh wait, no, this would be. They have 13 by default. If we give them skill rank. Skill rank 3, starting XP 4, so they would have 20 insight to spend. Why don't we give them starting XP 3 and then 4 skills? So that would be 12 skills to distribute, but they have D4 in fucking everything except their one thing. So that would be kind of their one their one issue is that they have a D4 in literally everything except one thing. Therefore, they're going to be a little bit more tactical about their skills. They need to be, because if they're not very tactical about their skills, they're going to absolutely fucking bogged. Yeah, I think that fucking fine. I think that worked. So skill rank 3, so you'd have 10 skill ranks to play with. So you go away, Vass. Not only do you have 10 skill ranks to play with, So you have a lot of leeway with being a golem. You even have 15 insight to play with. The problem is you have really dog shit stats and everything. So it's kind of like, as a golem, you are spending a vast majority of your points on this. This is what you're focusing on. This is what you're hyper fixated. Is improving your attributes, and like, you have a lot to work with, but what I miss. Now comes the dove. Technically adding a bird girl would have, again, adding a harpy to this would not be too difficult. Actually, let's do European harpies. Let's do mythology, let's use it. Blinded by the god himself, and the harpies contaminate his every meal. Sinapo was delivered from his torment by Astolfo. Hi, Astolfo. I'm just gonna shake the. Let's see. Want to find. Do we have anything? Because dove. They associated with bird, wild birds, pet birds. Saint Milberga. Hello, Saint Milberga. Patron saint of birds. Have no fear. You want to play a fucking goose girl? I mean, that's fine. Yeah, I guess playing a harpy would playing a harpy would not be too far removed. It would not be impossible to make a harpy. Fine, we'll add a harpy. Harpy family. They would actually have the faith. They have decent finesse. Not very strong. Not very tough. Kind of dog shit will. Actually, we can give them. They're a little bird-brained. Hee hee hoo hoo. Get it? They're bird-brained. Bird-brained. Get it? Are you laughing? Are you joking? Am I yanking your chain? That the bird girl is a little bird-brained. Let's see, D10, 10, D6, D6, D6. With 10, she would have 8. With 2, she would have 8, and then. There we go. This would be yeah, she would. There we go. Add his DLC to femdom. My harpy. Oh no, my harpy wife wants to save herself for marriage. Damn, let's see. Actually, if we want to double down on the meme, there we go. Harpies have D12 faith. However, they are also 6 skill ranks. They're fucking stupid. Harpies are fucking stupid. However, they do got the faith. With that being the gimmick, is that they actually have a saint after them. Which is fairly important, is that they have an actual saint. Not many else can claim that. Especially not rats. Undead, if we want to take the undead. one path of natural. Whatever they had in their life. So, we need to make the undead. Audibit values. We need to make undead. Necroanima. Will you marry me? No, I'm saving myself for Jesus. It's like, yeah! My harpy wife has a gun. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, SpaghettiOs. Harpy wife have gun. We're going to give them 0 fucking insight. Undead do not have that. They will have an arbit value of 18, though. So, undead, revenant. If we do, let's just do, yeah, we can just do a revenant is our most basic. You are just returned back to life. You're an enhanced human being, effectively. Not much else. What would be, I've got a bone to pick with you. I've got a bone to pick with you. It's boning time. Man, hopefully I don't got any. It's entering the bone zone. Remember, Spartans losing 10 purity. Yes, you get 10 impurity by losing your virginity. Always remember that. And that mostly occurs. But you also get to get more sicko powers. So hey, if it works, it works. All of these voices inside my head rushing around in the corn of dread. The subsequent consummation for having children further reduce purity. Generally, I'm not gonna talk about stuff like that, but it's kind of the idea of, yeah, you're not exactly the virginal child anymore. You can almost view it as you have a plus 10 bonus for being one. Not necessarily you lose 10 for not being one. Because all impurity is, this is important, all impurity is, at the end of the day, is your connection to the mortal world. 100% purity pretty much means that you are caught up in Jesus. The Lord has mercy, and the Lord loves you, and you love the Lord. On the other hand, having really high impurity also means that you are, how do I want to word this, really fucking good at your miracles. Your miracles get way stronger, but you end up hurting yourself more than anything. I might have an answer. Christina, Sweden. Christina, Sweden. Well, let's Google. Let's Google Christina, Sweden. What could possibly go wrong? move to Rome. You're probably seeing the right idea. It's effectively there's a couple different ways you can approach making a character like her. But yeah. God bless the Catholic Church. Or more accurately, the Holy Church. Remember, it's the Holy Church, not the Catholic Church. Very different. Let's see. So we know we have 0 inside. Mm. 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 She nearly bankrupted the Swedish royal family by buying paintings, and it was incredibly misogynistic. She wanted to be celibate. I mean, fuck if it works. Let's see. Corpus. Corpus is you are literally a reanimated corpse. Revenant is you are a person inhabiting a body. You are a spirit inhabiting your own body or in someone else's body. You're effectively a revenant from Shadow. The skeleton is you are a skeleton. Mm. Mm. Got isekai pro tags. Can you really be isekai'd into the real world? Can the skeletons talk? How does that work? Yeah, skeletons can talk. Yeah, why wouldn't they be able to? They rattle the bones. Yeah, it's one of those things, like, literally you are a reanimated skeleton. You wear a hood everywhere you go, effectively. And you move your jaw and words come out. You are effectively a spirit. The best way to think about being an undead is you are an undead raised by unholy practices, done by the church, for the sole reason of being like, you're gonna continue serving, effectively. Mm. 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 Terry, can we call you a cycler? There we go. That's your gimmick. You're a cycler. You have entered the cycle of reincarnation, and you were fucking pulled from it by the Catholic Church. Fuck you. You don't get to reincarnate. No. None of that bullshit. You are coming back. But please, I need to get isekai. No, you fucking aren't. Abso-fucking-lutely not. Get your ass back in here. You pretty much are just another human being they plucked from the cycle of Samsara and being like, yep, nope. Congratulations, welcome back to the land of the living. But is it a cycler? Literal isekai deniers, unfathomably based. being like, yeah, no, it's, hey, you know, what are you? It's your necroanima. The problem is you're technically dead. By all technicalities, you are dead, and you are in a body that is not your own. And you are undead. You have one path of natural miracles that you walk on, and you have a purity of 50. But it's kind of like, or whatever they had in their life, I'm going to have to write in a big note effectively saying, hey, if a character dies, they can come back as a revenant. That would be my thing. They are coming back as a revenant. Technically. They would be coming back as a revenant. They are still there. They still understand who they are. It's just incredibly distant for them. They don't quite it's kind of the idea of like, I know for a fact that I was here. I understand that I am a living, breathing person at one point, but I don't really... I don't really understand anything outside of that. You know, my way of looking at things has been so fucking skewed that it's pretty much impossible for me to go back. Your mind is potatoes, effectively, at that point. 3 is skill rank, 3... 10, 10, 10, 10, 12... Quadpis would have 6. 8, you'd have 16. However, you have 66. Mm. Mm. Rattle me bones! Rattle me bones! We can do that with the corpus. Corpus are just tough. You are a walking corpse. You are strong and effectively immortal. Anytime you die, you'll just get back up. Because I think the best way to think about it is, as a revenant, you're still you. You're just in a body that isn't quite right anymore. And your mind is kind of drifting every now and again. It's kind of like, oh, I'm going to go to sleep being like, I'm dreaming of a life that doesn't exist anymore. I know I'm not that anymore. I know that I'm not human anymore. That's a little fucked up for me. If you are a skeleton, hey, you're just a skeleton. You don't really remember who you were before you were a skeleton. You just know that you were, in fact, a person. This is your bones. This is still you. You might have something embedded into you. You might have a saint's bone inside of you. You don't know what kind of saint, but you're just a skeleton. A spirit is, you are a corporeal, but not really corporeal spirit. If you've ever played Dragon Age Inquisition, Cole would be a good example of that. You're there, but not really there. You pretty much have a very strong connection to the faith, and people will be like, yeah, that's him. You don't pop up anywhere, and if someone takes a picture of you, you might appear a little bit faint in the background kind of thing. Like, you're effectively a physical ghost. Corpus is, you are a corpse that was brought back to life completely unnaturally. You have no memory of who the fuck you were, nor do you really care. If you want a good example of a corpus, a high-level corpus would be Alexander Anderson at the end of Hellsing. Like, if you want a good, like, Hellsing Anderson, let me see if I can find, if you want a good idea of what a corpus is kind of like, this would be a very high-level corpus. is there's not much of you left anymore. Whatever the fuck is animating you, you're going off instinct. You are the quote-unquote monster of God. And that's how a lot of people would view you as, a complete fucking abomination of God. However, you are very much still of God. A little bit fucked up, but I'm like, yeah, that was the original idea behind golems, but I think Corpus having really weird relationships with golems would be an interesting dynamic, if we can kind of address that. Kind of the entire idea of undead are very unnatural, while golems are born to be natural. That's kind of the idea is, yeah, they're complete. The idea is that golems are completely free of sin. That is the way they are. They are free of sin. They have never known sin. They will never understand sin. They are completely just free of it. Because they don't understand it, necessarily. They are beings created, similar, due to their nature being born akin to Adam and Eve. The church uses the same ideas to get a golem up, but golems are effectively artificial people that don't quite understand the idea of evil or sin. Undead get it. They are very unnatural. That's kind of the problem with them. The same processes occur, but yeah, it's effectively, can you blame a homunculus for being born? No. And in God's eye, it would be, no, you're completely justified. It's, the idea is like you are justified in your existence, and you are, the Holy Church would view you as you are an unfortunate reality of our crusade against against hell, effectively. Therefore, you're free of sin. You've done nothing wrong. We've done wrong by making you. Necroanima is like, you are an unholy. Whatever the fuck we just did was not approved by the Vatican. Yeah, it's kind of the faith, the unholy trinity. What we are about to do is not approved by the Vatican. That's playing on Necroanima. What the fuck is this? Yeah, this is unironically, if you want a quick and dirty campaign for Cruciform, just play the entirety of Faith, except anytime he gets into danger, you just engage in DMC combat. That's all that happens. Unironically, we're citing Faith for this game. Aw, demon. Fuck you. That's pretty much all. How do you tell Satan to go fuck itself and you shoot it with a gun? Please, Lord, not gay camp. Do golems have the classical restriction of being unable to speak? No. We're off-brand. And that would be kind of a thing that I would need to address more in the lore section, to be like, Jewish golems are just better than the Catholic golems. A Jewish golem is really fucking good at everything. They have a lot of restrictions placed upon them, though. Namely, the idea of emeth, mostly, emeth versus meth. They have that. We don't have that. The Catholic Church did not plug in the idea of typing in meth into a golem. They do not have that. On the other hand, they do have the they're just not as good, effectively. They are not as adaptable as a Jewish golem. And that's why one of the ideas that a lot of golems go seek out their Jewish counterparts just to learn from them. A Jewish golem is very few and far between, but they are very skilled at what they do. A Catholic golem, there's a shit ton more of them, but they're not as good, and a lot of them just end up. It's kind of one of those ideas, like if you ever need a quick NPC to be like to fill out the church or whatever, just make a golem. What do? I do taxes. What do you mean you do taxes? I sit at my desk and I crunch numbers. Do you do anything else? No. Do you want some food? No. Do you even eat? No. That's the idea behind. If you want to play a golem, it is you are playing a character who is very detached. You don't quite understand what's going on, nor do you really care. You just serve the Lord, and the Lord serves you. Pretty much majority of the golems at this point have, if you're here, the idea is that you're a golem who has learned enough to be a functional member of society, but you haven't really learned much else outside of being a functional member of society. If that makes sense. It's kind of like, yeah, I know how to actually, like, go out and talk to another human being. Can I do it well? No. But I don't really care. Because that's, you know, why would I care? There's no reason for me to. That sounds like it's just taking time away from doing real work. Vampires continue to be a little bit strong, but I'm okay with them being strong. It's big, man. Like, yeah, if you want to play it, literally playing an avenging fucking golem is, you can play them as, like, I'm a big dumb meat stick that I beat people to death with. And it's like, hey, can I kill this person? Like, no. No, Frank, we cannot kill this man. He's like, I think we should kill. Hey, Bingo, I think we have to kill this guy. Ah, damn. That is effectively how you should view a golem. I think we have to kill this guy, Bingo. Ah, damn. I don't know why it's so fun. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Bingo. Damn. I don't know why I find it so funny. just seeing, damn. This was a very weird trend, and I saw it a lot, and I just find it infinitely funny every time I see it. I don't know why I find this stupid meme as funny as I do. It's like, it's Virgil. Why? Because it's so detailed in some of the... Yeah, don't forget it yet. Of course, we all... Okay. Always remember this, kids. Donald Duck is canonically the strongest magician in Final Fantasy. Always remember that. Donald Duck is canonically the strongest magician in the entirety of Final Fantasy, because he is the only one to cast Zeta Flare. Which is effectively, Donald Duck casts Nuclear Armageddon. Imagine Vegeta holding him so gingerly, too. Just like, damn. It's great. It's such a great image. We're gonna have to kill this guy now, Bingo. There is something very cathartic about Donald Duck being able to cast Zeta Flare in any world. or something hilarious and very satisfying, being like, ah, yes, Donald Duck can canonically kill most characters in Final Fantasy by himself, simply because he is built different. Okay, so we do on the background. Yeah, that's kind of the like why are these undead abominations created? Why do we pluck a spirit from, you know, from the reincarnation side? Why do we pluck a Japanese teenager and plop him in a fucking body? Being like, congratulations, you're joining the Catholic Church now, bucko. Like, aw. Why do we do that? Because we need bodies. Okay. I think we did a lot of work today. I think we're making good progress. I will need to speak to... Yeah, I'll speak to some people about it. I've been streaming for like 3 hours and I haven't eaten. So I'm going to make some dinner and then probably hop on the Discord and continue working on things because my work is never done. Oh, jeez. Alright. My work is never done. Okay. Let's go. I'm going to make food first because I'm God's hungriest soldier.